What's going on, everybody? Y'all already know the vibes, man. And today we have a lot to talk about. The third major of the CDL season is finished. We're going to do an updated rankings, an updated CDL team rankings list, tier list, whatever you want to call it. So let's get into the video, guys. Who do I have at number one? So I don't think it should come to any surprise. I think the best team in the game in the S tier, you have to give it to Atlanta Faze, man. They've been to all three finals of the majors. They've looked great. They're the only team to win multiple majors so far in the game with their major 3 win. They have 2 now. They just look good. S&D going into this stage, right, into this major, it was questionable. You know what they did? They decided to pick up Tupac, one of the greatest S&D players of all time in the S&D scene. Shout out to him. And he helped transform them to an elite S&D team. They were elite before, but I feel like they're way more structured now since acquiring him. And you gotta love it. Okay, they realized one of their weaknesses after the second stage, and they did everything they had to do to make the improvements. Okay, they looked good. They looked dominant. You know, there were obviously a lot of close games. There were a lot of close games, especially against the top teams. But right now, for me, you have to think that Faze deserved the number 1 spot. The number 2 team in the game, also in the S tier, I still have to give love to Toronto Ultra. I do. They got 3rd at this major. They won the last one. Okay, I know that they were in the finals and you know NYSL were on the up and up, but Toronto's a fucking damn good team, man. A damn good team. They almost reverse swept Faze early on in the major. Okay, they couldn't do it. They had some really close, heartbreaking losses in this major. They really did. They easily could have been there again. It could have been them in the finals trying to get another championship. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. You know, you're not always going to win. That's just name of the game. It comes with the territory. But when you look at them, I still think fundamentally, and when we're talking about teamwork and everything, they're probably cream of the crop, the best team. They're a very talented team, but I think some of the other top teams have a little bit of advantage when it comes to talent. Not much. You know, I'm not trying to discredit them in any way. Oh my God, I'm tongue-tied because they're phenomenal from top to bottom. But I have them at number 2. And then also in the S tier, I have NYSL, the 3rd best team in the game right now for me, guys. This was a heartbreaker. I really wanted them to win. I predicted them to win. If you guys watched my pick'ems video, they looked great with Hydra in hardpoint going into the major. Even at the major, they looked fantastic. Their S&D, I really liked the way that they played S&D in the major. I like the strategy. They were, you know, it seemed like they were trying to change the S&D game right now in Cold War. They had a lot of unique strategies, not a lot of unique plays, but ultimately they weren't able to get the championship. They did fall to Atlanta Faze, but what are you going to do? Besides Clay, that team has minimal experience when it, you know, comes to being in that situation. I think they're only going to improve from here. But they're a hardpoint powerhouse. Their S&D looks solid. Their controls, their only like weak mode right now. And I know Clay and the boys, they're going to do everything they can to prepare for stage 4, you know, fix their control. Hopefully their hardpoint doesn't fall because of that. Normally when teams have one really weak game mode, they focus on it a lot and it improves. But then the modes that they are good at, they just don't put enough time into, you know, staying at that level and they fall off a little bit in that mode. But hopefully that doesn't happen to them. But I will say they are an S tier team. I do think they're the 3rd best team in the game right now. But now we're going to move on to the 4th best team in the game. And this is the tough part, is the 4th best team in the game, in my opinion. Okay, I have to show respect, is OpTic Gaming, or OpTic Chicago OpTic Chicago. I don't even know. Don't they do it backwards? I don't even know. They played fantastic in this major. I thought, besides the first series versus LAG, right, where they didn't look too hot. They got the win, but they didn't look that great. They played lights out Call of Duty. They easily could have been top 3. You know, they lost a heartbreaker to Toronto, also a very good team, but they played great. You saw great games out of all of them, especially Dashy. He turned up. They look like a completely different team in this major. You know, they were bullying teams in that losers run, and they're a very momentum-based team. They play off of emotion a lot, and when they're rolling, when the ball is rolling, they are a tough team to beat. You know, they play great COD. I'm not taking anything away from them. I just think I need to see a little bit more before I actually put them in the S tier with Faze, with Toronto, with New York. Okay. I said they were very average before this major because they looked very average. You know, you can't blame me for that. They looked very okay, compared to these other top teams, but they played them close, man. They played, you know, they played every team, every top team very close. They beat the teams who they were supposed to beat. So I do think they're the 4th best team in the game, but I think we need to see a little bit more. I'm not trying to say this was a one-off, you know, and they were on, because now, boy, they were on. They were on when it came to shooting. Like I said, especially Dashy, but they also were playing some good COD. They were playing some good COD. I think this is the best COD they've been playing in Cold War. But for me right now, I have OpTic in the A tier. I do have them as the 4th best team in the game. Oh, this is where it gets very interesting, because we're talking 5th best team in the game right now. And all these teams are kind of just clumped up. They really are. They, like, I don't know where to go with this. I don't. I will say this. This is where it gets very close with the teams. Okay, guys, it does. But I think OpTic is in the A tier by themselves. I'm going to say the 5th best team in the game right now is the Florida Mutineers, and I currently have them in the B tier. You know, they beat LA Thieves 3-1. Then they kind of got bodied off the map by OpTic, by Faze, or Subliners. They're a team that I've always said they have potential. They're starting to show it slowly but surely. I do think that they have a team change coming in the future. I don't know for sure, but in my opinion, I think that's what they need to really push them past this threshold that they're currently at. But you have to give respect to them. All right, they look solid. First time they started in winners bracket in a major so far this year, and I think depending on if they make moves, this team has a lot to look forward to in the future. They have a bright future for the rest of Cold War. Now, the 6th best team in the game. The 6th best team. Who is it? None other than LA Thieves. I have them also in the B tier. Now, they did lose 3-1 to Florida in the winners bracket round 1. And then, you know, they played London. They beat London. They got bodied by Toronto in the respawns. They did. They're just, LA Thieves they're in a weird spot right now. I like the move for Hugh when they did it. Even when they looked so good with TJ, they really looked like they were starting to find their stride. I just felt like bringing on Hugh, it uncapped their potential, right? It made them so they have a chance to actually, like, they have the skill to really win and compete with the best teams in the game, right? The teams in the S tier and A tier with OpTic, right? Now, I didn't leave OpTic out, okay? I didn't leave them out. But things have been going rough for them so far. You know, I know the move was made at a weird time. They only had one official series with Hugh before the major, and that was to NYSL, where they lost. Besides the first map of that series, it was a very close series, and I rank NYSL very high. I rate them very highly. So I thought going into the major, they had a chance to really make some noise and prove like this is why we made the move. Started out, and I would say they got upset by the Mutineers. I don't think I saw anyone predicting that. They bounced back. They played a very good series versus London, who London has been a team that's been improving a lot as of late. A team that's very solid. And then they just kind of got bodied in the respawns like Toronto, like I said, by Toronto, not like Toronto. So I don't know. They made a lot of sloppy plays, guys. They did. And I don't know where they stand right now. I definitely think that the 6th spot is fair for them. We need to see. At the end of the day, they didn't have too much time with Hugh, but with the matches, the sample size that we have, it didn't look great. It didn't. So we just need to wait and see. But I still think when you look at this team, 6 is a good spot for them. B tier is a good spot with them alongside Florida. For team number 7, this one might be a little bit of a hot take. Maybe not. I don't know. I think this team isn't in the B tier. I have them in the C tier. But number 7 in the power rankings for me right now has to be London Royal Ravens. And, you know, they've been improving a lot lately. They have been. They 3-0'd Minnesota in the loser bracket of the major. Okay, a lot of people might have, you know, thought that was an upset. But this team, since picking up Zap, I think they have actually been making some serious strides and improving. They look very solid. I know they got 3-0'd by LA Thieves. You know, it's the bad juju. Paul X said it was going to be a 30-minute series. They were going to 3-0 LA Thieves. Hey, everyone needs to get punched in the mouth from time to time. That's how you know you don't talk shit until after the series. Believe me, I went through that. Everyone's went through that. It just, it rarely ever works. You know what I'm saying? But they look solid. I think this is a team that could continue to improve. Who knows? They might sneak into the 8th spot. So I have them at number 7. Moving on to number 8. This one is definitely going to be the Los Angeles Guerrillas. I have them in the C tier as well. LAG is currently 9th overall, guys, in the standings. And they're a team, when you look at them, you know, they're kind of like the San Antonio Spurs, if you guys follow basketball, right? They're a pretty boring team to watch, okay? They don't have an insane amount of talent. What they rely on to really win games, win series, is their teamwork. And I think, you know, they're solid when it comes to that. They're a slower team, but fundamentally, I at least know what I'm getting out of them. And a lot of the series, you know, they're pretty close. They lost to OpTic in the losers bracket of this last major, but they looked like one of the better teams against OpTic. I'll be honest. Besides the, you know, the top teams in the game. And who knows if they are going to make a team change. I don't know. You know, Vivid's still on the bench. I don't know what's going on with that, but they just look better than the rest of the teams that I haven't named yet right now. So I have to put them here. Also in the C tier though, like I said. Coming in at the number 9 spot, guys. This is a shocker, because they looked damn good in their honeymoon phase, honeymoon period, whatever you want to call it. But since then, they just have not looked good at all. It's the Minnesota ROKKR. I do have them in the C tier alongside London and LAG. There's been some rumors. I'm sure if you guys saw on Twitter, Lamar or Accuracy had some tweets. Who knows if they're making a change? Maybe Major Maniac is coming in the foreseeable future to replace Accuracy as the main AR, but they're just not clicking. You know, they looked so strong in the last major heading into it. You know, they came out of their group in first, and seems like they've just regressed heavily. They still are really struggling in hardpoint. Their S&D isn't what it used to be, and you know, same with their control. But I think if they do make this move, because that is kind of the rumor, this is a team that maybe they can get back on track, right? They're currently in 7th in the overall standings, but these next couple majors are going to be crucial for them. They need to put on to, you know, secure their spot at champs. And they're just a toss-up, man, because we've seen how good they've looked. We have, and we've also seen how they've been playing lately. There's just not much else to say about them. We got to wait to see if Major Maniac does come into the starting lineup again. But I do believe even right now, they're still in better form than the rest of the teams. Now I am moving to the D tier, the 10th team in the league. This is the craziest one for me. I have them in the D tier, and it's Dallas Empire. It's Dallas Empire. They look bad right now. They do, which is crazy because I think Shotzi is playing phenomenal. I think Shotzi is one of the, you know, best players in the game right now. He looks great. But he's the only one that you could say that for on the side of Empire. I still don't know why they made this move with Hugh, why they decided to bench him and then release him so he can go to LAT. I think they did it prematurely. I think if you're going to bench him, fine. But have like a plan, see how you play with Fellow. If you really want to play with Fellow, or if you want to try and make a move and get a different player for Hugh, but they just kind of let him go. And they haven't looked good with Fellow. They haven't. Shotzi is the only one that I think has been playing good. Illy hasn't looked too hot with the role swap. Krim has not been playing too hot. He has definitely not been at the level that he was earlier in the game when it comes to the main AR role. And Fellow, I feel for Fellow. He got this opportunity. I feel like he just was put not into the best situation. He's been okay, but they just don't have enough. I don't know right now if they have enough talent to compete with the top teams in the game. I definitely think this team needs to make a change, multiple changes at that, if they want to get back to kind of where they were expected in the beginning of the year. But I have them coming in at 10th. Then at 11, also joining Empire in the D tier, Seattle Surge. I don't have them at last, so that's a plus if you look at it from a certain angle, you know what I'm saying? But even with the move, Decimate in, Looney out, they still don't look good. They didn't even have a honeymoon. I fucking asked Sam. He was in my chat the other day. He said, yeah, the hurricane hit the island, so we couldn't even get the honeymoon going. We had to go fly home. That's tough, Sam. That is tough. This team is this is another very weird team. You look at them on paper and they have all the talent in the world, but they just can't put it together. This is another team. I would assume if you want any chance at making champs, you would make roster moves, but I don't know how easy that, will be with all the contracts and everything like that. Not much else to say. And then on the last team, number 12, also in the D tier, Paris Legion. This team was a team I was kind of high on in stage 2, stage 1 end of it. Thought they had some potential. They were looking solid, because this is the scraps of the league. This was the last team that was formed, no pun intended. And they looked like they were improving. And then in stage 3, they just looked flat out bad. They picked up temp. It has not been working. They don't really look like a team, in my opinion. It's just 4 people playing. Who knows what they're going to do? But I currently have them at last. Dead last, bro. Just complete utter garbage. Hate to see it too, because I hate talking badly about people that I like, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I like the guys on the team, but they're just not doing it. They're just not doing it right there. So hopefully maybe they make a roster change. Maybe, who knows, miracles happen, but probably not with this Paris team. That's my updated tier list, guys. The power rankings. I appreciate all the love. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Trying to hit 30,000 subs. Trying to, man. We're on a slow grind there. I appreciate all the love. And yeah, man, that's it. Keep posting what you guys want me to make videos on. I do read damn near all the comments, and it's awesome. Even if I don't respond back, I do see it, and it helps me out a lot. So I appreciate y'all for real, man. Take care. Until next time, I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. The kid is out. Deuces.